guys, welcome to my little paintbrush. I am Miss Sarah, and today we get to paint this fun narwhal, one of my favorite paintings. I'm so excited to paint this with you. I hope you love it as much as I do. Remember that you get to make this narwhal your very own. You do not have to use the same colors I'm using. You don't have to paint it the same way. You be you, okay? I'm going to be showing you some techniques and color mixing and different ways to paint it. You can follow along with me if you'd like, but feel free to be creative. We love creative. So I'm going to use a couple of different brushes here. I have a large flat, small flat, and a detail brush. These are the brushes I'm using. You use what works for you, okay? Make sure you have a jar or a cup of water ready to go. And also, I have all my paint laid out on my plate. All my colors, okay? If you are using a paint kit from us, you will have little cups of paint. And one thing we recommend is that you separate your white. You don't want to contaminate it all at once. So I spread it out on my plate so I can mix colors and have lots of white to use for different colors. White is our best friend when it comes to acrylics. So let's get started. First things first, take your large flat brush, or the biggest one you have. We're going to put our narwhal in first. So we're going to paint our narwhal first. So I want you to think about what color you want your narwhal to be. Mine's going to be a light pink. So I'm going to take some of my red here and mix it with some white. And I just want to use a touch of red and mix that with my white because it turns pink really fast. Look at that. Okay, now I'm saving some of my red for later. I don't want to use it all at once, but I'm going to get this lighter pink color and keep adding that red until you think you love it. I like that. I think that's a pretty good pink, and I'm going to save some red for later. I need it for later to do some other things. Now, once you're ready, go ahead and start painting in that narwhal. I'm going to start at my head, the narwhal's head, and paint around. It's kind of tricky, right? To get that edge, we have to kind of slow down, but I paint in a rainbow shape. See how I'm curving my brush? That helps my narwhal look round and squishy instead of completely flat. So all of your paint strokes actually help your narwhal look round when you move in that direction. Now let's go around our horn here. Nice and careful. It's going to be very yellow, so I don't want to paint inside my horn. I'm going to go carefully around it. There we go. And let's paint this side as well. Fill it in. I'm keeping my brush moving in that round rainbow shape as I go. All right, and I'm going to go around my eyes. If you want to paint over them and do different eyes for me, you can. But I'm going to go around them just so I don't lose where they're at, right? I want them round on mine. It's okay if you paint inside them a little bit like that because you're going to paint them black later. You just want to be sure to know where they go. You want to know where that circle goes. Now, if you paint over them completely and you lose it, that's okay. I'm going to show you later where to put them. Now let's paint that little tail in. Now don't forget this little fin over here, huh? We got to remember the little fin. I'm going to paint my fin in. Just go around here, fill it in. I want to make sure I don't have any thick globs of paint anywhere, so I keep brushing my paint out. Put this little fin on here. Now right here you can wrap your canvas if you want. There we go. Finish off my fin right off my canvas. Beautiful. All right, so I keep painting around this side now, keeping my brush moving in that curved motion. So my narwhal looks round. That's the goal. Okay, now I'm going to paint this fin. And come all the way out, curve it, Fill it in. Just want to make sure we have a smooth line. If you want to try it, you want to take your brush and try not to pick it up as you go around. See that? But it takes some practice. Give it a try. Don't worry, it's not perfect. It's a painting. Paintings are not supposed to be perfect. That's what makes them so beautiful and unique. They aren't a canvas print. They are a painting. So have some fun and enjoy the process, right? The process of learning and creating is so fun. So we're going to come all the way around the belly here. Just like that. And I'm going to finish up my line. Trying not to pick up my brush. Ooh, that's tricky. That is tricky stuff. Did you try it? Good for you. Okay, we got that on. Got our narwhal on. Now this is why I saved some red, okay? This is tricky, so I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. All right, you can take your brush like this and put a little bit of that dark red on the corner and float the edges like this. This is where you make the edges of your narwhal darker. So I go around the edge of my narwhal, just like that. See how it makes the edges a little darker than the rest of my narwhal? Okay, so I'm going to go around the edge with my red, just like that. Now you can do it like this and give it a dark shade around the edge, or for some of our younger artists, use a liner detail brush. You don't have to float it. You can just put some red on your liner detail brush. And see, Miss Sarah's going to go around the edge with the line brush and fill it in. Oh, I smeared it. That's okay. All right, so you can go around it as well with your line brush, just like that, and fill it in that way. You can do all the edges with that brush. I'm going to just float it because that works for me. Okay, you have to do what works for you. Now this fin, you want to remember to create a rainbow. So we're going to come around the edge and bring that rainbow shape in. See that? All the way around. And then make a smile on the bottom part of our fin and bring it in. Just like that. Okay, so I create a smile on the bottom part of that fin. Then I'm going to just keep on going with my red. Oop, got a little too much red. Sometimes that happens. It's okay. I'm just going to put a little more of my pink on my brush. There it is. Okay. You follow it around. Now you can follow it around with your line brush. I'm going to keep going, put it on all my edges. That way my narwhal stands out, right? So use your line brush. Let's put that in. Anywhere you see Miss Sarah adding that darker shade, that's where you add your darker shade. Whether you're floating or you're using a line brush, doesn't matter. You'll put them in the same spot. Okay. Make it dark so you can really see it. So we want it to stand out. There it is. Okay, go all the way around, just like that. So cute. Love it. All right, so let's do the other side. I'm going to come over here now and come around this edge with my darker shade too. Now with this edge, one thing we tend to forget sometimes is to come right over where that other fin is. See how it comes straight across here? Okay, all the way across. So it looks like that fin is sitting behind on the other side. There it is. So cute. How are we doing with our outlining here or our floating? Hopefully you're having fun like me. I love doing this. Okay, so once our edges are all done, like that, I'll brush it in, make sure all of our colors are on. All right, this is not very dark up here. I'm going to outline mine a little more. You really want it noticeable. And see how I came out of the lines a little bit right there? I'm not too worried about it because our water is going to cover it up. So don't worry too much. Now, one thing I do like to do is I like to come up here and put a little bit of shadow around the bottom or base of my horn. See that? Okay. So if you'd like to do that too, you can do that with a line brush as well. Or you can float it. It just adds a little bit of depth to our painting. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that dark shade around the base of my horn. Just like that. All right, last little outline here is our other fin. Don't forget your other fin. I always seem to forget him sometimes. He hides over there. There we go. Okay, that was the trickiest part. You're probably all warmed up now, right? Ooh, we got those paint muscles warmed up. That was probably the trickiest part of the whole painting. Okay, so now that that's done, we're gonna let our narwhal dry a minute and let's put a layer of yellow on our horn. Okay, so let's mix just a touch of white and yellow together, just like this. I always add some white to my yellow. It helps it go on better. And this we're just going to fill in for now. Okay? This is just our first layer, and it looks a little bit like an ice cream cone, right? All the way to the edge there. There we go. All the way up. Curve it out. Keep those smiley faces going all the way up to the very edge of your canvas. Okay. Do this bottom part, and I'm going to curve it and keep that little ice cream cone going all the way up. There it is. Now this is just our first layer. We're going to come back and do some other little fun tricks, but first we want to fill it in. Make sure it's nice and covered with yellow, all the way to the very edge of your canvas. It goes all the way up, huh? I'm gonna make sure this is covered. 1, 2, 3. Keep it looping. 1, 2. There we go. Don't want to lose my shadow though. Nope. Okay. Cover up the base. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, let's let that horn dry a minute. Rinse your brush. Now, while that's drying, we are going to put in our background. Okay, we're painting this in layers so it can dry as we go. So now I'm going to put my water in around my narwhal. And you'll have this really dark blue, okay? And I'm just gonna use a little bit of it and mix it with white because I want a light blue. Now, if you want a dark blue, that's why we gave you some dark blue if you bought the kit from us, because that way you can decide how dark you want your water to be. You can keep it light like mine, or you can add more blue and make it darker. Now, once you know, you can go ahead and start filling it in. And I'm going to keep my brush curving around my narwhal. That way it kind of looks like the water is circling around our cute narwhal here. Okay. And if you get little white streaks in your paint, that's awesome. Just let it be. That makes it look like you have water swirling around. That's perfect. Okay. There we go. I'm going to paint all the way up here, as close to the narwhal as you want. We got to slow down. You see how Miss Sarah's slowing down because I don't want to lose my narwhal. I worked really hard on it, right? We worked hard on that narwhal. So I'm slowing down as I go around the edges of my narwhal so I don't lose it in my blue water. Go around the edges. There we go. Get all this side too. Getting as close as I can, but remembering to slow it down. There we go. Go around our fin. Beautiful. Now inside the fin is a little tricky right through here, right? Right by the fin and the tail. Gotta slow it down right there and use the toe of your brush. If you don't know what the toe is, it's like your brush is standing on its tippy toes, okay? Use the tippy point of your brush and it helps fill in that space a little easier. Or you can switch to a smaller brush, whatever works for you. Now we don't forget between the little tail here, or fins, I don't know, what do you call that? I'm sure you know, because whenever I'm teaching in class, my artists are amazing at telling me what everything is. I love it. Okay, we're going to go around the top here. And at this point, if you want, you can do what we call wrapping our canvas. That's where we paint all the sides of our canvas, the top and the bottom too. So if you want to do that, you can reach around and finish it up that way. It's one of our favorite things to do. There we go. Gotta paint the edges right here, close to that fin. Try not to paint into my beautiful work, right? There we go. I like it. So cute. Get around our horn here, all the way up to the edge. Okay. I picked up a little yellow there. There we go. If you hear my dog, sorry about that. She's happy to see someone. She is barking like crazy. Okay. There we go, guys. How's your background going? Get your water in there. So fun, huh? I like it. I think we are ready to let our water dry a minute and finish up our narwhal. So I'm going to let that dry. Rinse my brush really good here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is paint our belly on our narwhal. And I'm going to use my white to do it, but I'm going to add a touch of my pink. Just a touch though, okay? Because I really want it to stay really white. I don't want it to be the same color as my narwhal. So I just use a tiny touch of it. And now I'm going to paint it in. Here we go. We're going to go around and create this rainbow shape up top. Curve it around, right? There we go. And if you accidentally painted over yours, this is so fun to just shape out yourself. So if you lost your pattern, that's okay. You can just come and shape it yourself. Put it in there. There's no wrong or right way to do it. I'm going to curve it around here. All the way down. Almost looks like a teardrop, right? Or a raindrop, not a teardrop. We don't want tears. Unless they're happy tears. We're going to do a raindrop. We like raindrops, but it looks a little bit like a raindrop, huh? Okay, all the way around to the very, very tippy point. There it is. Curve out the bottom part. Beautiful. And you can put as many layers on there as you need with your painting. As many as you need. Fill it in. I just want to get this corner here all the way around. You might need a smaller brush. I'm using a pretty big brush to get that little corner. So you might need a smaller brush to bring it around here. And that's okay, use a smaller one. You want to do what feels best. There you go. It's beautiful. Oh, get a little pink on there. Love it. Let's rinse our brush. Okay, rinse it out. And let's go back to our horn now, okay? We're going to put a little bit of white, and I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this, okay? So one way is to float our horn. We call it floating, and that's where you take yellow on one corner of your brush and white on the other, okay? And you're going to come up here to your horn and create a rainbow curving out each little corner of your horn. So every time you make a curve on your horn, you're going to bring it all the way around and make that rainbow shape. You see that? So as I'm curving around the edge of my horn, I bring it all the way around and make that rainbow shape, and I'm going to go all the way up with it. Now this is floating it with this brush, but for younger artists, you can take your detail brush, put some white on it like that, and you can just curve it all the way up with your detail brush. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it all the way to your corner. Okay, so if you want, you can just use a detail brush and make that rainbow shape on your horn to connect that fun curve all the way up your horn. See that? Or you can float it like I do a little bit here by putting white on one corner and yellow on the other, and just float in some white. Just has a little bit of a different look. They're both awesome, right? They're just different. So whatever you prefer to do, the idea is to just add that curve so it looks like it's very spindly. Is that a word? It's very round, like an ice cream cone, all the way up. See how it makes it look like it's curving on you? Okay, and it can be a lot of white, it can be a little bit of white, whatever feels good to you. And if you feel like you have too much white, you just put more yellow on. Lots of options. Okay. All right. Just gonna make sure it's nice and noticeable for you on the camera. So I'm gonna go over it here with some white. Really noticeable all the way up. Curving my brush, giving it that round rainbow shape all the way to the edge. And then rinse it. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, now let's do our eyes. You guys ready to do your eyes? Once your horn is done and you've created your rainbows all the way up your horn, put some black on either a little tiny circle brush, or you can do a flat brush like me here. And I'm going to go around my eyes with black. Now black, we have to start pretty small because black can get big fast, right? So you can use a flat brush like that, or you can use your detail or line brush. Come up here and circle out your eyes. I like to make a circle and then fill it in if I'm using my line brush. Okay. Make a circle and then fill in your circle. And this is where you can add eyelashes if you want to, or you can just leave it and not add eyelashes. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to come over here now. So either use a flat brush, or I like to circle it out just like that. Once I have my circle, then I fill it in with my black. So cute. You can do a winky eye if you want. Do all kinds of eyes. We have lots of fun eyes. Okay, now once you like it, you feel good about your eyes, you can add this little eyelash here. I like to just curve it out like a smiley shape. One there. Try and even it up here. Add one on the other side. Oh, so cute. Look at those little eyelashes. Okay, and then we're going to give our narwhal a smile. Now, what kind of smile do you want to do? You kind of have to decide here, right? I think I'm just going to do a cute little smile here in the middle of the eyes. Whoop. Just like that. So cute. I love it. Oh. Adorable. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush. There we go. We're going to put a little bit of sparkle in that eye in a minute. But first, let's do some highlighting. So I'm going to put some white on my brush. Find some clean white. Right? Gotta find it. I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting here on my narwhal. I have a little stroke of a highlight on the top. Stroke my brush like that. Give our narwhal a highlight. I'm going to show you both ways here. So you can give it a highlight with your detail brush, or you can put a little bit on the corner of a flat brush like that and highlight this way too. See that? So there's different ways to add that highlighting. Different ways to add a little bit of a stroke along the edge of your narwhal. Okay? And I'm going to go around and just add it to my fin. There. A little bit on this fin too. Now use your line brush if you're more comfortable with your line brush on this. Add it to this fin. And another little highlight here. Like that. So cute, right? Now let's just let that dry a minute. Rinse your brush. And another little detail I add if you want to is you can put some shading like you did under your horn around the bottom of your eyes as well. This is optional. It's just if you want to. Kind of fun to add some shading around the eyes to give it some depth. I'm going to rinse my brush out, and while our eyes are drying just a minute, let's add some bubbles. Okay, now I'm going to use the back of my brush. So grab your flat brush, flip it around, let's use the back of it and stamp it in our white. We like to call it our chocolate chip. I'm going to come up here and just stamp some bubbles, just like that, just around my narwhal. I'm going to do one right here, a couple of them right here under the fin, and I think I'll put some over here too. You see that? Just an easy way to add some bubbles to your painting, and it's so fun. We're going to put a little bit of a reflection, or we like to call it a sparkle, in the eye with the back of our brush too. So once you do your bubbles, you can go ahead and stamp that reflection in your eye. Okay, I did a big one. Now I'm going to do a smaller one next to it if you can. A little bit of a smaller reflection. Isn't that cute? It just finishes it up. I love this narwhal. So cute. Okay, guys, you did it. I love it. Let's sign our name because we are proud of our work. So we like to encourage our artists to find a special spot to sign your name. I use a small detail brush. That way it's not too big. Okay, and I'm going to find a little spot. You can add your initials or your whole name, however you want to sign it. I'm going to put Miss Sarah right there in that little corner. And there you go, guys. I can't wait to see your narwhal. Make sure that you tag My Little Paintbrush so we can. We would love to see them. Thanks for painting with us. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.